January 31st is not a suggestion. It is one of the few hard deadlines in the tax world. If you miss April 15th, you can file an extension. But if you miss January 31st for filing your W-2s and 1099s, the penalty starts immediately, and they accrue per month. I'm Trevor Densmore, founder of TJD Accounting Tax. Right now, business owners across the country are scrambling. They are asking, do I send a 1099 to my web designer? Do I send one to my landlord? What if I paid them on Venmo? In this video, I'm going to clear up the confusion. I will break down exactly who gets a W-2, who gets a 1099 NEC, and the 3 exceptions that might save you from doing paperwork at all. Plus, I will tell you exactly what to do if you paid a contractor, but you forgot to get their social security number. Let's get started. First, we have to draw the line between an employee and a contractor. This is the #1 area where the IRS is cracking down. Form W-2 is for employees. These are people you control. You set their hours, you provide their equipment, and crucially, you withhold taxes from their check. Form 1099 NEC is for independent contractors. These are people running their own businesses. They send you an invoice, they use their own laptop, and you pay them the gross amount without taking out a penny for taxes. Here is the trap. A lot of business owners think, I'll just pay everyone as a 1099 to save on payroll taxes. If you do that, but the IRS decides they actually act like employees, you will owe all the back taxes, plus penalties, plus interest. So rule #1, if they act like an employee, give them a W-2. The deadline to file that W-2 with the Social Security Administration is January 31st. No extensions. Now, let's talk about the form that causes the most confusion, the 1099 NEC. This stands for non-employee compensation. You must file this form if, #1, you paid someone $600 or more during the tax year. #2, you paid them for services, not physical goods. So your web designer gets one, but the store where you bought your computer does not. And #3, you paid them via check, cash, or bank transfer, ACH. But there are exceptions. Exception #1, the credit card rule. This is huge. If you paid a contractor using a credit card or a third-party settlement network like PayPal or Upwork, you do not need to send a 1099. Why? Because the credit card processor or Upwork will send them a form 1099-K. If you send them a 1099 NEC2, you are double reporting income to the IRS, and your contractor will hate you. Exception 2, the corporation rule generally do not send 1099s to corporation. If your plumber is Joe Plumbing Inc. or an S Corp, no 1099 is needed. But be careful, LLCs are tricky. An LLC can be taxed as a sole proprietorship, needs a 1099, or an S Corp does not need a 1099. How do you know which one they are? That leads us to the most important piece of paper in your business, the Form W-9. This is the form you should have collected before you ever wrote them a check. The W-9 tells you 2 things. 1, their tax ID number, which can be a social security number or EIN. 2, their tax classification, C Corp, S Corp, or individual. If you see S Corp or C Corp check, toss the form in your file. You do not need to send them a 1099. Unless they are an attorney, attorneys always get a 1099, even if they are a corporation. Don't ask me why. Lawyers wrote the law. Now, here's the panic moment. It is January. You paid a guy named Bob $3,000 for marketing last year. You don't have his W-9. You don't have his address, and he isn't answering his phone. What do? You still have an obligation to file, but without his info, you are stuck. My advice, send him an email today. Subject line, urgent. Tax documents, payment hold. Tell him, hey Bob, my accountant is preparing 1099s. I need your W-9 by Friday, or I cannot issue any future payments. Money talks. They will usually reply. Why am I making such a big deal about January 31st? Because the penalties are annoying. If you file up to 30 days late, it's $60 per form. If you file after August 1st, it jumps to $330 per form. And if the IRS thinks you intentionally ignored it, it's over $600 per form with no cap. Also, a new rule for 2026. The IRS has lowered the threshold for electronic filing. If you have 10 or more forms total, W-2s and 1099s combined, you must e-file. You cannot mail paper forms anymore. Honestly, even if you have 2, please don't handwrite them. It slows down processing and increases error. Look, I know this is a hassle. You didn't start a business to become a payroll clerk, but this is part of the game. If you are watching this and you are thinking, Trevor, I have a mess. I have contractors all over the place. I don't know who's an LLC and who isn't. We can help. At TJD Accounting Tax, we have a 1099 filing service. We take your list, we collect the W-9s digitally, we verify the tax numbers, and we e-file everything with the IRS and the state. You don't lick a single envelope. If you want us to handle this for you, you need to act fast. The deadline is days away. Click the link in the description to book a quick 1099 scope call. Don't let a $600 penalty ruin your January. I'm Trevor Dinsmore. Get those forms filed. I'll see you in the next video.